Hello and welcome to the program. I am Suren. Today I am going to divert from the usual current thought into the ancient times of science. For example, alchemy. That is an ancient practice that combines chemistry and speculative philosophy with the goal of transforming the variety of metals into gold, creating a cure for a disease, and finding a way to extend life, human life. To start, the word alchemy comes from the Arabic phrase alchemia, which in reality refers to the preparation of the stone or the elixir by the ancient Egyptian priests. Alchemy was the science practiced everywhere, and particularly in China, India, the Muslim world, and in Europe. The very first Western alchemical texts appeared in Greco-Roman Egypt during the first few centuries AD. The alchemists, or the ancient chemists, developed a set of laboratory techniques as well as theories and terms that are still being used today. That is now considered as pseudoscience. But the terms in which alchemy and chemistry were originally used interchangeably until the 17th century remains still now, as it was. Alchemy can and does also refer to mysterious or impressive process that transforms something into something else. For instance, someone might describe a financial process as alchemy. And the question still remains, what is alchemy really? In reality, it is an art and was handed down through the centuries from Egypt and Arabia to Greece and Rome, and finally to Western and Central Europe. As we said before, the word is derived from the Arabian phrase alchemia, which refers to the preparation of the stone and the elixir, as I said before, by the ancient Egyptian priests. The Arabic root word chemia comes from the Coptic chem, that alluded to the fertile black soil of the Nile Delta. The encyclopedic script describes it this way. Esoterically, and hieroglyphically, the word refers to the dark mystery of the primordial element, or the first matter, the chem. The aims of the alchemists were threefold: to find the stone of knowledge, the philosopher's stone, to discover the medium of eternal youth and health. And so they discovered the transmutation of the metals. In the alchemist's mind, the different elements were but of the same original substance, in varying degrees of purity. For example, the gold was the purest of all, and silver followed the gold very closely. In the early days of alchemy, the signs of all the astrological names of the planets were also used as a chemical symbol or chemical symbols. Then, in the centuries of medium persecution and suppression of every alchemist invented his own secret symbols. Charlatans, quakes, and cheats took over, and the communique, along with sorcery and witchcraft, infamous for fraud and extortion. In the 18th century, scientists tried to lose the real achievements in chemistry or pharmacology and medicine from this confusing state. Cornucopia of science, if we may call it, and magic. According to the dictionary, an alchemist is someone who transforms things for the better. As we said before, one could recognize alchemy as a pseudoscience and give chemistry its rightful place as a serious scientific field. But the two terms initially overlapped in their meaning before separating by the 17th century, just as astrology and astronomy did during the same period of history. Alchemy and alchemists are, in fact, include all the words in chemistry and chemist in English language. Alchemists believed that the little lead could be perfected into gold, and the diseases could be cured, and life could be prolonged through transmutation or some other essential element into a superior form. There are, as there were, secretive experiments, usually involving heat and the mixing of liquids, which led to the development of pharmacology and the rise of modern chemistry. The long route to English for the alchemist begin with the Greek word chemia, and which may have originated from the word chyma, or fluid in Greek, derived from the verb shein or kain, meaning to pour. It then passed to Arabic, which added its definite article al, meaning same as the, to the Greek root. The word then passed from Latin to French before coming to English. Similarly, Arabic also retained all or al in English, as with algebra, algorithm, alcohol, elixir. This power to transform things for the better, or real, or imagined, led to figurative meanings for alchemy and the alchemists. When alchemy migrated to Egypt and was later revived in 12th century, Europe, through translations of Arabic texts into Latin, where do European alchemists need some useful discoveries, including mineral assets and alcohol. Everybody would then lead to the development of pharmacology and to the rise of modern chemistry. The gold-making processes for alchemists, the word finally has been discredited, but not until the 19th century. Speaking of the alchemists, one of the best credited or known was Compte Saint Germain. Lisa Trank, in February 2020, wrote all about this legendary Saint Germain. Ultimate alchemist, a mystic, ascended master, immortal count. Very interesting. She writes, across the ages and verified collection of people loom larger than the time in which the existing influence, which spans or which generations have impacted and still resonating long past their physical lifetime. Compte Saint Germain, also known as Compte Saint Germain or Saint Germain, was an enigmatic figure of the 1700s who achieved notoriety or notoriety in European high society, attracting kings, playwrights, and followers. So, he was considered a mystic, a philosopher, social influencer, and an ascended master. To some, the Count represented, listen to this, the second coming of Jesus the Christ, and being reincarnated throughout the ages. Naturally, one tends to ask, just like the author did, who was Count Saint Germain, and how did he achieve a godlike status that still remains today? Good question. I too agree with the author when she says, to understand the man, one must dig deep into the many aspects of one of humanity's or humankind's most cryptic yet influential spiritual entities. She writes further about Saint Germain's mysterious beginnings. Let us not forget that Count Saint Germain and his beginnings are as enigmatic as the life he lived. So far, what has been unearthed shows us, as the author also explains, believed to have been born in 1710. Many claims have been made that the Count was of Portuguese descent, perhaps from a Jewish family. Others tracked his birthplace to the Italian village of San Germano, which explains the name he was most commonly known as, Count Saint Germain. He was also known by other pseudonyms, including the Marquis de Montferrand, Count Bellarmare, Cavalier Schöning, Count Weldon, Comte Sotikov, Graf Zergi, and Prince Rákóczi, son of Francis II Rákóczi of Transylvania. What we know so far is that Saint Germain possessed great personal wealth and a wide-reaching knowledge, which included mastery of most European languages, the arts, the music compositions, and virtuosity as a violinist. It has been said of his musical ability that he played as if he was, on his own, an entire orchestra. Well-traveled among the aristocracy, Saint Germain, with his quick wit and intelligence, as the author puts, wielded great influence politically, which also caused him to be seen as a provocateur. When one reads an account of him being arrested and later released in England in 1743 as a Jacobite spy, is somewhat disturbing. However, it is also claimed that Count Saint Germain fled England and moved to France, establishing himself there as central figure in Louis XV court, where he was appointed a diplomat. According to what the author had discovered after a political dispute involving relations between Austria and France, Comte Saint Germain fled to Russia, where it is said he played an important, albeit behind-the-scenes, role in the 1762, the Russian Revolution. But aside from his political impact across Europe as a great thinker, his stature in the mystical and spiritual world is where his lasting influence was most felt. Known for his involvement in the occult, which was popular interest in 18th century in France. Saint Germain was also believed to be an alchemical master, so much as the violet flame, referring to the highest frequency of the spiritual energy. According to Stephen Wagner, Saint Germain is said to be linked to several secret societies, from Rosicrucians to Freemasons, Society of Asiatic Brothers, Knights of Light, Illuminati, and Order of the Templars. He certainly created an aura of mystery among the nobility by probably hypnotizing them with tales of past lives and magical powers. As author claims and confirms in her writing about Le Comte, according to one source, Saint Germain returned to France during Louis XIV's reign as a confidant of Marie Antoinette, who was acquainted with the Count's reputation as a mystic and prophet. We need to remember also that when he predicted events with eerie accuracy, including a detailed foretelling of the French Revolution, the given situation, as we see, the Queen reportedly responded, "Only royalty will be left." But Saint Germain replied, "Not even royalty. There will be bloodthirsty republic, whose scepter will be the executioner's knife." Now, Saint Germain did not live to see his prophecy come to fruition. His recorded death is between 1781 and 1784, long before, years before the French Revolution unfolded. However, many believe that was only the first of his incarnations, including that of ascended master. That brings us back to the subject of alchemy and description thereof, a medieval chemical science and speculative philosophy, targeting to achieve the transmutation of the base metals into gold, the discovery of a universal cure for disease, and the discovery of a means of indefinitely prolonging life, as Saint Germain is meant to be, or known to be, as well as a power of process that changes or transforms something in a mysterious way. Perhaps an inexplicable or mysterious transmutation. Let us simplify matters a little further, shall we? Alchemy is an ancient chemical science with aims of changing simple metals into valuable metals, such as the gold, discovering a simple method for every disease and discovering ways to live forever. Consider today's science and scientific achievements. This is where we discover certain advancements in finding ways to help cure diseases and prolong life of human beings. When you hear things or read about, say, coffee may help prolong lifespan by almost 2 years on average, drinking coffee is linked to a longer, healthier life, according to mounting evidence. It is truly exciting to read about new review of the existing literature conducted by researchers at the University of Coimbra in Portugal, which says that drinking coffee regularly may add an average of 1.8 years of healthy living to a person's life. It is being explained that the molecular constituents of coffee affect mechanisms that linked to aging processes, helping to slow them down. Chlorogenic acids are antioxidants that can attenuate the chemical deterioration of our cells and allow for better cell recovery after exposure to noxious stimuli. It seems we are heading the right direction. So, therefore, I am going to have my coffee. Until we meet again by the next episode, keep smiling and be happy. Thank you.